My next guest is a legend when it comes to the sport of boxing. He's seen and done it all. Wonder who it is? Well, here's a little hint. He says he plans to use his chop chop on his opponent, Reggie Barnett. Hey there, fight fans. Have I got a super special guest in the studio today? WBO light welterweight champion, the former I should add, and boxing legend DeMarcus Corley, who's making his BKFC debut against Reggie Barnett at BKFC 16. DeMarcus, how are you today?
I'm great. I can't complain. I'm happy.
So, how have you changed up your training camp specifically to prepare for bare-knuckle fighting?
A little bit changing up was when I had to pretty much focus my punches on a Muay Thai board, strengthening my hands, punching the board. Punching the hot sand, we got a little machine that heats up the sand and punches the sand and salt. So we got a bucket of rice that you punch your hand in rice.
So I'm pretty impressed. Unlike some of the boxers that have tried to come over to bare-knuckle, it seems like you've really done your homework, because really the hands are what, in my personal small opinion, need to be conditioned the most.
I'll agree with the hands, and you got to understand also you're also taking punches as well. Bare knuckle and no gloves will be on.
What's a typical training day like for you? And I read that you're fortunate enough this time to have your kids out with you for training camp.
Yes, I flew out yesterday, met them at the airport. I'm back in Vegas, and we start work tomorrow. Well, I've always been working, but it's more focused now that I got my kids with me.
What is the challenge, do you think, for you to come over from gloves to no gloves, besides fighting in the clinch?
The challenge is me breaking my hand.
Yeah.
Breaking the hand and placing the punch in the wrong spot when I hit him. But other than that, I think I'm going to be good. I move my head pretty well. I see a lot of things coming straight down the pipe. So we worked on a lot of stuff that they do in the bare knuckle fighting. So I'm prepared.
So, Chop Chop, you are both southpaws. So what range do you want to fight Reggie at then?
I'm going to give the fans what they want to see, an in-close fight. And if Reggie change it up and don't want to fight in close, I'm just going to let them know this is not what they want to see. They want to see a fight. They don't want to see a boxing match. I could have stayed in the ring and kept the gloves on if I want to do boxing. I want to fight. I come to fight.
Why did you make the change into bare knuckle? What excited you about this sport?
An opportunity to win another world title. And I know I have the advantage because I have more skills than the guys who does bare knuckle. I bring a lot to the table. I have a lot of experience, over 80 professional fights. The total is 85.
85, right.
My background, being in there with multiple world champions, going the distance, I'm well equipped for bare knuckle.
Just another day at the office for you, as they say.
A fun day.
All right, for fans who are new to bare knuckle FC, we've got a real boxing legend in the house here. Chop Chop has fought over 85 fights. 28 of them have been KOs. So which fight are you the most proud of, and why?
I'm most proud of my fight I took on a 5-day notice. We got a phone call on a Tuesday to fight for a world title on a Saturday. And it was for the WBO Junior light welterweight champion of the world. And the opponent was Felix Flores, and it was scheduled for 12 rounds, but it only took us 1 round, 2 minutes and 49 seconds.
Keeping on that same subject, tell our viewers how you got started in boxing, and it's time to brag a little and tell them what other titles you have held, Chop Chop. Don't be shy.
I just picked up my first original title, my USBA title. I went home. They brought it to the airport for me. That's the first title I won against Enil Julio, which was a 12-round fight, and that was a tough fight. Then my WBO title, I have that here with me in Las Vegas. My NABF title, I took that fight on a 9-day notice, and I fought Lou DiBella prospect, Tito Rosario. And I took the title from him, and I just stayed ready because you never know when the phone call is going to come.
It's funny you mentioned that, stay ready, because that was exactly my next question. I feel like so much of your career has been able to be successful because you have been ready.
Yes.
How do you prepare mentally for a fight, though?
Mentally, it's my job. So it's not so much preparing. Boxing is my job. So I go to work every day and I train and I train and I train. And I'm waiting. When I had a manager, he would let me know we got something working. So just stay ready. Now that I'm managing myself, I just consistently just stay ready.
What goes through your mind as you walk out to a fight?
For this, my debut, what's going through my mind this time is excitement. This is my debut going into bare-knuckle. It's like my first fight when I fought here in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay on a 5-day notice. The lights, it was just amazing. The excitement. And I wasn't the main event, but I was on the undercard of Johnny Tapia.
Well, we can't wait to see you make your debut at Bare-Knuckle FC. Now, kind of on to what I think is the most important part of this interview. Chop Chop
What is
Kitchen?
that?
How did this whole thing come about?
It came about over the years, me being married, having a large family, 11 children, and I love to cook. I prefer eating in than going to eat out at a restaurant. First of all, you're saving money. And the food, you know how it's going to taste because you're the one that's preparing it and cooking. Me just being a family man, being in the house cooking all the time, everybody keep asking me, what do you think about starting a cooking show or coming out with your own Chop Chop Kitchen? And I was excited. I like it. It was right up my alley.
Is there anything you have not cooked that you want to cook up?
There's a couple items I have not cooked. A couple recipes that I'm working on. I want to do some goat smothered with some rice, mashed potatoes, gravy, and carrots. I like goat.
I do too.
I love oxtail.
I do too. Not a lot of American people are familiar with that food, but being that I've traveled over for some of my other jobs over to the Caribbean, Central South America, and Asia, it's a great opportunity to try new foods. What is your favorite thing to cook, though?
I have a couple. I love fried chicken. Like, what's on the menu tonight? Fried chicken. My kids, they already placed an order. They're like, Dad, after we get there, can we have fried chicken for Sunday dinner? I said, yes, we can have fried chicken. But they also placed an order for Friday dinner also. So we got fried chicken tonight, cornbread, rice and gravy, and some fresh greens.
I'm feeling like maybe sometime in my next life, you should invite me over for dinner. I'm just inviting myself, whether or not you know it or not.
There you go. You're more than welcome. As soon as we get this new house and start doing Chop Chop Kitchen, you're more than welcome.
And I notice you have what I would call quite a bit of rhythm in the kitchen as well.
Oh, that music. I love music. I take the music from the gym to the kitchen, from the kitchen to the bedroom. I mean, I love music. It relaxes me.
We've got to talk about carrying on the family legend. So who is the next superstar coming up in your family?
The next superstar? That would be the little one sitting right over here. Come here, Chop.
Hi, Chop.
This little one right here. She said hi. This is the next superstar, little Chop Chop. He started training tomorrow, and we're going to do some footage of him putting in work, getting in shape.
What will you tell your son about boxing that you wish someone had told you before you started your boxing career?
to manage your money. So I want to make sure his money is put away and it's managed properly.
Great advice. Great advice to all fighters.
I always had a mind of business, working and creating my own brand, but I never had the team to help me build a brand. So it was always me by myself, branding myself, promoting myself.
Great advice for any fighter coming up in combat sports. All right, speaking of brands, what about your clothing line?
I'm always winning. I have on my Chop Chop sweatsuit now. I'd like to thank one of my sponsors, Heavy Hitters. They supply me with the product for these new gloves they have out in boxing equipment. And I always wear my own shoe, my own outfit I design. I have my own boxing shoe, and I'll be fighting in it.
You know, I just want to ask you one final question. What is your pre-fight meal then, since you're going to cook it yourself?
Right now we're on it's not a diet, but
okay.
I would say I'm fasting because I'm not drinking coffee for the next 19 days. I love coffee. There's a possibility I may eventually do a Chop Chop espresso shop. Come out with my own coffee. I love coffee. Most likely I'm gonna have some chicken the day before the fight or the day of the fight. Some nice stewed chicken, some curries and some vegetables, rice and gravy, some nice greens to go beside it. I love soul food.
Me too.
I love to eat.
And you love to cook and you love to fight. Before we go today, Chop Chop, is there anything else you would like to add? And please give us your social media handles.
My social media is Chop Chop Corley. My other social media page is Demarcus Corley 2019. My Facebook is Chop Chop Corley as well. This is my spotlight to turn the lights back on for me. This is like the beginning of my career all over. I'm going to show the world that I have done it again, not just in boxing, but now I'm taking it to bare-knuckle. I will be a champion. I will be the bare-knuckle champion at 135. I guarantee you that.
And in 2 rounds, right?
That's the game plan. I don't want to take no 1-5 rounds. I don't want a decision. I want to be the judge. I want to make my own decision. 2 rounds.
All right, Demarcus Corley, we really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today, and I really look forward to seeing you fight at BKFC 16.
I look forward to having you over for dinner one day.
Oh, I'll be there. And we will be there, bare-knuckle fight fans, bringing you all the beautiful bloody action from Biloxi, Mississippi at BKFC 16. I'm Susan Cingari, and remember, no one beats us to the punch.